Hello viewers, welcome to another edition of Politics Alive on Alive TV. I am Adav Talib Atta. Today we have a special guest. He's a member of the LP in Abuja, Mr. Jones Ogunike.
Yeah,
am I right?
Correct.
Okay, you're welcome to Politics Alive.
Thank you.
So Mr. Jones, can you just tell us about yourself and your party and your activities in Abuja so far?
Labour Party, as we all know, just came up on board, and within a very short space of time, they've been able to amass so much support and influence that they are now being perceived as the opposition party. And we members of Labour Party didn't just join the party because of the crowd. We joined the party because we wanted a new Nigeria. We are fed up with other political parties, if I should put it that way. So I think all these issues surrounding other parties is what really gave birth to Labour Party, or what has made it a phenomenon right now.
Okay, so is it safe to say Labour Party is the underdog in this political contest?
Well,
and if yes, what are the likable challenges you've been facing?
When you say Labour Party is an underdog, you are saying Nigerian people or the Nigerian citizens are underdog, because Labour Party comprises of all working class, all Nigerian working class. By inclination or by accident, we all happen to be members of Labour Party.
So has that been co-opted, like officially, like all the working?
You say officially.
Yeah.
Labour Party is a religious party. It's been registered since, I think, middle 2000 or thereabout. I'm not very good at.
We never always had the Labour Union supporting Labour Party.
That's what I'm saying. Labour Party just came on, born out of the issues surrounding other political parties. We have seen that these other political parties cannot salvage the country. Right now, Nigeria is at the verge of collapse. And P2B happened to come at a time where everybody seems to be fed up with happenings in the country. When we were growing up, we could travel from here to Kaduna, or from Kaduna to the east, of Kaduna to the west, conveniently. But right now, everybody seems to be imprisoned unconsciously. When in Abuja, they can't live about Abuja is a virus. That's the issue. This is a very big issue. So P2B came aboard, and as people, Nigerian populace have perceived him as someone who can salvage the situation. So we are not Labour Party because we are working class. We are Labour Party because we belong to the proletariat. The battle between the proletariats and the bourgeoisies. The issue we have is that the system is being tilted in such a way that it's benefiting very, very few political elites. And these elites are so dogmatic to a new change. So where we are having problems is that the proletariats, because of the way they've been subjected over years, are finding it difficult to align themselves to the new reality. These are the challenges we have. But I know over time, with sensitization going on, they are beginning to understand that it's not about religion, it's not about ethnicity, it's not about tribe, but it's about savaging the country, Nigeria. If you're a member of Labour Party, if you're a member of APC, if you're a member of PDP, it doesn't make you buy things in the market lower than.
But you know what, Mr. Ogumike, you talked about the elite. Peter Obi is supposed to be like part of the elite, isn't he? Like by birth, you know, he's from an affluent family, and also politically he's been in other political parties like ABGA and PDP. So what makes him so different right now? Is it just because he's in Labour Party he's different? Or is there a new ideology he's coming with that you need to let us know?
No, Peter Obi is not telling us things that we have not heard in the past. But people seem to align with him because, first and foremost, you said he belongs to the elite, but he's an elite that over time have been tested to have Nigeria at heart. It's an elite over time has been tested to have been working for the people. It's an elite over time have been tested to be very prudent with management of resources.
Yeah, but the governor of Anambra State will disagree with that. He actually says his economics is
No.
It's really
But you saw the way the response he gave to him. He said he has handled Anambra as a trader. Him as a professor, let him do better than he has done.
So is he going to come and handle Nigeria as a trader and then wait for somebody else to come? Is that the try and error we are waiting for?
No. What he just said is it's a proverbial statement. I handled the place like a trader. You criticize what I've done. Your criticism is based on, I don't know where your criticism is coming from, but you as a professor, let's see what you do. So I don't think the governor of Anambra statement is logical or has any influence on the people. He's just, I don't know what got over him.
But you know, Professor Charles Soludo is a renowned economist. He did so well as the CBN governor. He made major milestones as the CBN governor. He's not someone that will say something about a state governor and you just expect people to brush it aside, Besides, they were members of the same party initially. So is this something he knows about Mr. Peter Obi that Nigerians don't know?
Why Charles Soludo's emphasis on Obi doesn't really make sense to people is that Peter Obi...
When you say it doesn't make sense to people, a section of the people, because a lot of people are aligned with him.
Yeah. Okay, let me put the section of people. Is that Peter Obi didn't hand over to Charles Soludo.
Oh, yes.
He handed over to Obiano.
Yeah, Obiano.
Good. And if you are trying to investigate economic activity of a government or your predecessor, it's expected that you investigate the immediate predecessor, that's Obiano, and not going back to Peter Obi's.
I don't think it was a case of investigations.
No.
I think he was just bringing it up when
That's what I'm saying. If he had handed over, that is part of, it's based on investigation that he came up with some assumptions. Now, if Peter Obi had handed over to Soludo, you say, okay, this is what Soludo meant. He's saying this because this is what he meant as he took over. But you're taking over from Obiano after 8 years of Peter Obi leaving office. You are coming to say his economic this thing he did. I mean, it doesn't really add up. I don't know. So I don't want to double into it.
What in your opinion prompted?
At that level, they know better. I don't want to go into details of what I don't have idea of, so that I'll not be misquoted.
Well, a lot of Nigerians are very interested in that particular matter, and we were hoping that someone like you would get us.
I'm not the spokesperson for Labour Party. I'm only the convener of one of the support groups.
Okay.
So I'm speaking based on the little knowledge I know about Labour Party and how my support group is trying to ensure that Peter Obi wins 2023 presidential election.
Okay, so Mr. Ogumike, you talked about Peter Obi. Let's examine the man Peter Obi in some other sphere. Peter Obi is from the southeast, and he represents a part of the country where you have secessionists, so to speak. What impact do you think this will bring to his electioneering, especially as he wants to be president of Nigeria? Nigeria consists of other regions. How do you think that's going to make or mar his chances?
Thank you very much. You see, there has been agitation from various regions of the country, not only in the southeast. And if you observe in recent time, ever since Peter Obi came up as Labour Party presidential candidate, the agitations in the southeast, especially that of IPOP, what they call them, has drastically reduced.
No, but they still have the sit-at-home thing that they do.
Yeah, the sit-at-home thing is not. It's still part
and
of the
we've heard reports of INEC offices being raided.
Yes. You see, the sit-at-home thing of IPOP presently is not because Peter Obi's candidacy has not, pacified them a little. But because I think the case with Nnamdi Kanu still kept under detention, I can assure you that if today federal government of Nigeria releases Nnamdi Kanu, that's it at home stuff will end. But to a very large extent, with Peter Obi's emergence as the Labour Party candidacy, and the Igbos, the IPOP, let me just generalize this. The IPOP have seen that, okay, they have been, organization is born out of marginalization, they feel they're not a part of...
Sorry, Mr. Ogumike, we have to go on a short break right now. I will continue some more insights on the LP in Abuja with Mr. Jones Ogumike.
Alive TV.
Welcome back to Politics Alive, and we are being joined by Mr. Jones Ogumike, one of the coordinators of the LP movement in Abuja. So, Mr. Jones, you were talking about the impact the LP movement is going to have, whatever impacts might affect the LP movement based on the activities of IPOB in the southeast.
Yeah. As I was saying, I said with Peter Obi's emergence, he has been able to pacify the agitations of IPOB. They now feel they belong, a larger part of them belong to Nigerian government. And with Obi's emergence, or if eventually wins election, I can assure you that the agitation of IPOB and even other regional agitations will suddenly collapse.
Would you not think that will now kind of heighten it? Would they not have like a sense of...
No, you see, I belong to that part of the region. And over 45 years of my existence, in fact, I just began hearing about IPOB just within this Buhari's administration. I don't know.
Yeah, but that's when it started. I don't think.
You see, it's born out of. You can see even when I grew up in the north, and we have always lived like brothers and sisters. We have never seen each other as not being Nigerian. But of recent, we have been divided, seriously divided on tribal, religious, ethnic, so many, you can mention it, lines, which is not good for the healthy coexistence of the country. You know, with emergence of Peter Obi as Labour Party listen, and if eventually becomes the president, I can assure you that these agitations, these differences will suddenly fizzle out. You see, this people say if he becomes a president, IPOP will not. No. The essence why these people are agitated is because they feel, you can even see it. How many, if there's an apartment today, they remove Suleiman from apartment, the next apartment will be Isa. If they remove Isa, the next apartment.
No, but don't you think that has to do with the whole quota system thing? When someone goes out, they replace him. Is there a case where someone from the southeast was removed and then somebody?
Yeah. These are part of the things, Check the security architecture. Check most of something you equally know. So I don't want to double it down. The Labour Party is not about sectionalism, or we don't want to look at it as passive. We don't want people to look at it as regional or anything. No, it's about oneness of Nigerians. If you are put in a position of authority, people don't look at you because you are from the north. You are put in a position of authority, people don't look because you're from the south. You are put in a position because they feel this person can deliver, he can give us results. But now, any appointment coming up is being first looked at, where is he from? What is his religion? Which is not healthy for us. It doesn't unite us as a country. So this is what Peter Obi presidency will suddenly cleanse from our system.
So you strongly believe that Peter Obi can actually bridge these gaps that we are building right now?
I strongly believe so.
Okay, I think
because it's not an Igbo president. It's not a Yoruba president.
But he's a president. Yes, he's a extraction.
He's a president of an extraction. Of course, you have to come from somewhere.
Like hopefully anyway.
Yeah, yes, you have to come from somewhere. But the essence of we aligning with him is that he will now give Nigeria that sense of identity as Nigerians first. Not, is he a Muslim? Is he a Christian? Is he Hausa? Is he Igbo? No. We don't need that.
Okay.
Nigeria has overgrown. We should overgrown such at this stage of of our being.
Okay. So if you want to put them on a pedestal, like let's say the top 4 contestants, what advantage does Peter Obi bring to bear, above the other contenders?
One, you see, Peter Obi has somewhat to his advantage. Amongst the 4 contestants,
The 4 major, they are actually 18.
4 major contestants. He has age as an advantage. He has competence as an advantage. He has capacity as an advantage. He has capability as an advantage. Above all, he has the charisma.
When you say he has competence, we just had a long discussion about a professor who is presently the governor of a state he governed for a while, saying he didn't even handle the economics well. For instance, there's this talk about him saving 75 billion instead of actually investing it. Saving money these days is really not economically wise, So when you say competence, what other sphere are you going to?
You see, when Soludo say,
but let's not go back to Soludo because I think we've exhausted that.
Okay.
Yes.
So you brought it.
No, I'm just saying you are talking about competence.
Okay.
If you have any other points about his competence
in the sense that Soludo, Peter Obi is someone based on his pedigree and his past records. Someone who have seen that is capable of bringing Nigeria out of the immense debt she's in right now. Right now, I can tell you that Nigeria is so much immersed in debt that even our forefathers, our great-grandchildren will not be able to settle it if something drastic is not taken.
No, but some will have the argument that Peter Obi is actually one of the people that kind of put us in this mess because he's more of an importer than a manufacturer, and he keeps talking about taking us from being a consuming nation to a producing nation. Yes. But it's public knowledge that he's one of the major importers in Nigeria. When you go to his next.
Yeah. When you say major importer,
yes,
these are part of international trade. There's no country.
No, international trade for himself.
No.
How does that benefit the majority of people?
Every country, every nation in the world engages in international trade. He deals with some commodities. He's a trader. And by virtue of his profession or his occupation, he engages in international trade. Those things he imports into the country. He's not a president. Nigeria is supposed to as well be exporting some items.
No, but he was the governor of Anambra State, and if I am correct, Anambra State has the highest concentration of billionaires in the country. So if as a governor he was not able to harness that seeming potential, bringing the billionaires to make a lot happen. What do you call it? Nnewi is in Anambra, if I'm correct. That's where they produce Inoson motors. What impact did Mr. Peter Obi, as a governor, put to an existing manufacturing company like Innocence, to the point that we can say, okay, he's done that as a governor?
As a governor, there are certain things you do in the state which will not be in public glare because Anambra is just part of Nigeria. As a governor, I'm sure, and I don't have my record straight, but I'm sure he must have given some incentive to Innocent because Innocent, I think his plant is Anambra there.
Yes, in a way, precisely.
Yes, exactly. I'm sure as a governor, he must have given him an enabling environment to strive to the point that with Nigerians now know Innocent as a
but back to, I don't know, we keep talking about Professor Charles Soludo. Charles Soludo right now, as I understand, every official vehicle used by the state government is Nigerian made, Innocence. Isn't that great?
During this time, Innocent was just trying to, I remember vividly, there was a time they projected Innocent as one of the, during this time, a car manufacturing stuff, plants in Nigeria trying to come up. I'm sure Obi would have been one of the pioneers of such,
Anyway, we'll have to fact check that.
We'll have to fact check that, but I'm sure he would have done that, but because Anambra is not Nigeria as a whole.
But
it will not be
like I
so
said,
much in public glare.
A government
we equally have some talents like that in other parts of the country. There's a way you push it to look as if you are trying to showcase Anambra as against.
No, but that's the job of a governor.
But he did it. That was when.
That's what I'm saying.
Of this time that we began hearing about Innocent.
Okay.
If you check,
like I said, we have to fact check that.
It was due to this about Innocent. Yes. But along the line, suddenly, when Buhari said he was going to, make Nigeria great, do this, we thought when he comes aboard, Innocent, he said we're not going to be importing cars. All the cars in the villa are going to be Nigerian made. That's when we thought he was going to really make use of Innocent. But we saw that even he now buys Toyota to neighboring countries like Niger. I mean, if the vehicles you give to Niger,
No, I think that was for strategic reasons. We cannot,
no.
you can't rule out.
Patronize our locally made vehicles and give it to Innocent, Nigerians will not complain because it's a plus to us. But if you patronize Japan at the expense of our own local manufacturer, I mean, it doesn't add up.
Okay, Mr. Ogumike, so let's quickly round up this thing, but I want to find out what is your membership strength in Abuja, and since you are, you did not agree that you are the underdog, but since you are the people trying to get into power, what new strategies are you bringing in to make sure you capture power?
We are trying to, over time, Nigerians have always thought or believed that you must have a structure, which I don't in any way see anything wrong in that. But we need a lot of sensitization. Constitutionally, there's no independent candidacy. Otherwise, if Peter Obi had come out as an independent candidacy, I know we'll go miles,
Are you saying it will have been better than having
no, but we need a platform to come up. That's why I'm driving at something. Labour Party, unconsciously, we all belong to Labour Party. As long as you are a working class, whether you belong to the private public sector, you're a member of Labour Party. That is the structure. Secondly, over time, people have always felt, or believe in joining the bandwagon where the crowd is. In the time past, if you are not member of PDP, you don't belong to any political party until APCs started making waves. Now that PDP monopoly was broken. So the Labour Party has come up and made us understand that it's not about belonging to a party or be to name. Listen,
but
what do they have to offer?
The Nigerians are really into money politics, whether we like it or not. So how do you get your funding, or how else, besides this lofty talk and all these lofty dreams about what Mr. Peter Obi wants to do, how do you get the attention of the average voter, the market woman, the lady, the man that's the mechanic somewhere, the guy that just lost his job? You said everybody that works is in Labour Party. So how do you convince people without putting something in their pocket, without, how are you trying to change the narrative?
Yeah. In fact, the narrative has been changed. Maybe you're not in tandem with it.
No, I am, because I'm in Nigeria.
Because if you, from random sample conducted of recent, people, there's one trending on the internet that a policeman was saying that how can he even donate his 1 month salary to support P2B? It's trending on the internet. I saw it.
No, but internet is, it's most of
things are
not
It's a reflection of, it's not really, in the past they'll say, these are internet and social media, listen. But we are seeing the facts on ground now. We go to any rally now. Peter B went for commission in River State last week. The whole place was on lockdown. We are seeing reality. They'll say social media, but social media, what you are seeing in social media is a function of reality on ground that was captured. You see, now people are no longer interested in whether you are APC, PDP, or Labour Party. No. Who can salvage the country? Random sample conducted of recent. It's good that most people, in a sample of 20, 18 are willing to, even like in my support group, we have not received any funds from Labour Party, the larger body. If we want to conduct a rally, we post an account. we want to do this and this road. Before you know it, the funds are raised. And everybody's saying the transparency of...
But Mr. Omike, one thing, sorry to interject, what I'm saying is also, most of these rallies conducted by the Labour Party supporters are in the metropolitan parts of the country. Do you have rallies that involve the rural people who are actually the people that will wait in the rain, in the sun to vote?
In my area, as I told you, where I'm the convener, we have been able to sensitize people in the rurals over there. Whenever we go there, you don't need to say, give them. Once you announce, because we have sub-coordinators, good. We are coming, we want to sensitize people around the area, let the people know. He disseminate the information. Before we get there, everybody, people are eager, they are hungry for a new Nigeria.
Wow. People
are very hungry for a new Nigeria. And they're not looking at it from religious, ethnic, they just want somebody, and they've seen the person. Peter Obi is not a messiah, but maybe it's an instrument that is going to be used in serving the country. But I'm not sure he's going to do what we think he's going to do overnight. No, but you put on the path of,
sorry, Mr. Omike, you know something I noticed in our conversation? When you are talking about your party, there's just one name you call, Peter Obi. Okay, so isn't that a bit too autocratic? Don't you have councillors? Don't you have senators, people in the House of Reps, even some governors? Is the party built around only Peter Obi? Let's say something happens to Mr. Peter Obi today. What's going to happen to Labour Party?
We don't pray for such anyway.
No, but I mean,
what is so is that Labour Party, as I told you, just came up on board in less than 4 months. And within these 4 months, and the last administration, it wasn't a known party. So that's why we're not talking about councillors, governors, and the rest of them. Over time, it will metamorphose to all this where we think it should be. But for the sake of the nation, because for now, I'm not sure, we only have a de facto president.
But the words...
We don't really have a president.
The words would be very, very critical for the election. So how are you going to penetrate words?
The words?
Yes, where the elections are going to be held.
We have arranged, we have our strategy. That's why I told you, every state has Labour. We have strategized it in such a way that in every ward, we make sure that every representative of each of the trade unions will be there to man the election polling unit in every ward. In fact, we have so arranged that I think the spokesperson in the back was going to lay more emphasis on this. But that's not a problem for the Labour Party. That's not a problem.
Okay, so Mr. Ogumike, you just have 1 minute. Do you have anything, your final words for Nigerians on this, on your movement in LP? Please, final word.
My final words in Nigeria that this is time where every Nigerian have to discard or shed religion, tribe, ethnicity, and rest of them. Let's focus on someone who can give Nigerians succor, who can serve this nation. Otherwise, if we get it wrong in 2023, it's a sorry to Nigeria. The influx, the rate at which Nigerians are jackparing, or what they call, is that what they call them?
Yes.
In this country is at a geometric progression. It's somewhat that if I tell you that on an average 3 families leave this country every day, not every week, every day.
Mr. Ogumike, we'll check on the statistics.
I have my,
no problem, we'll check.
I know what I'm talking about. My wife is...
We have to go, Mr. Ogumike. Thank you very much for this very insightful projection that you've given us today. And I wish you and your party all the best in the forthcoming elections.
I hope you are obedient too.
I'm obedient to myself. And I'm obedient to Nigerians.
Nigeria, yeah, that's the one. You have to be obedient to Nigeria.
Thank you very much, viewers, on another Politics Alive program. Till we come next time with another insightful guest. Thank you very much and have a nice one.
Alive TV.